Oh my goodness, hi. Sorry, I have iced coffee and Scylla knocked it over. Uh uh please enjoy the music. I'll be so right back. Don't even worry. Don't even worry. I'll be so right back. Okay, see, look, I'm right back. I'm right back. See, that was Hi, good morning. See, that wasn't so bad. Hi. Oh my goodness, thank you for the stretch and the hydrate. Oh my goodness, thank you for the 20 streak. Oh my goodness, I'm overwhelmed already. Hi, good morning. Oh my goodness, I woke up 1 minute after my designated start stream time. Yummy. Sorry, everyone. But it's so regular. It's so chill. Congratulations to Awa for getting first. Thank you for overall. Oh my goodness! Thank you for the 60 stream streak. Wowee, big number, big number. It's so awesome. I know the streaks only go up in like integers of like 5 and 10, right? But I think it'd be so awesome if I got a notification that said aware underscore NPC1 is currently on a 6-7 stream streak. That would really be awesome. I think that would be so cool. Hold on, I gotta read chat. Smirk emoji. Man, my little cat Scylla wants my iced coffee so bad, and she's usually so regular about it, but this time she's like pawing at it and it's stressing me out. Let's see. Let's see. Anything of interest in chat? Oh my goodness. Hi. Hi, Jochi. Hi, Sora. Hi, Awa. Hi, Carrot. Hi, Holly. Oh my goodness, it's so nice to see you all. Gotta go. Can't be seen around a banana forker. Yo, what is wrong with using a fork on a banana? Listen, I don't want my like fingers to get sticky because I'm like streaming, right? I don't want I don't want banana particles on my hands. And so I like I like unpeeled half a banana and it's like on a plate with the fork and it feels really really fancy. Surely one sip of iced coffee couldn't hurt. No. No, none of that. I don't know. I don't know if coffee is like bad for cats, but she just I don't know. Maybe if she was well behaved, I would give her a sip, but she acts so entitled. I feel the same, bro. Guys, it's so regular. Like, I just wanted to come and say hi, have a good stream. Oh my goodness, Holly, I do not know if you're still here. But I hope you have a great day. Thank you for saying hi. I expect compensation in the form of a Pika P. Okay, this is for Jarchi's ears only. Are you listening, Jarch? Pika P! I did not study for this. Oh my god, you didn't study for the personality test? Sigh. Sigh. I do think this game is kind of short. I was thinking afterwards, like, what if we did like a BuzzFeed quiz party and we all did personality tests? Just kidding. Unless. Are you a pizza flicker too? It depends. It depends if I'm like sitting down at a restaurant or if I'm like at a friend's house watching a movie, then no. I think in general, I just eat pizza with my hands. But I don't know. There's some situations where like you don't want your hands to be dirty or like you're multitasking, and in that case, I would use a fork. Mm-hmm. Us looking clean. Oh my goodness! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wait, check this out. Oh my god! Sorry, my scroll wheel is so cooked. Okay. Wow, pretty cool, huh? I am matching with my Valentine. My Valentine is mixed also. We have the same outfit. Well, I guess it's slightly different. She doesn't have a bow, and we have different necklaces. And, like, obviously, our hair is different. But it's pretty cute. You handle the word high steak. Yeah, man. I how would you eat a banana if you were sitting at your computer desk and you didn't want it all over your hands? Career test. Oh hell no. Oh my goodness. They made us do like career tests in high school. And I guess there are lots of different versions of them. And I feel like for the most part I got normal answers. But there was one I'll never forget. There was one time I took a career test and it was like the career I got was the most obscure. It was like some form of arborist, like working with like trees. It was just so hyper specific. And then like you look up like that job and the pay kind of sucks and it's super hard to get into. It's like, man, you're telling me this is what I'm destined to be? Oh my goodness, hello hero boom. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, Vibe Boom sound effect. Oh wait, that was so good timing. Hey Felix, thank you for the 45 stream streak. Oh my god. Sure, it takes 3 hours anyway. Listen! 3 hours is kind of short for an X Cinnamon Fox X stream if you think about it. Oh my god. Scylla, does anyone want to babysit my cat for 4 hours? She's not trying to get my iced coffee anymore, but I'm in the process of moving, right? And I have a Cage the Elephant poster that is like framed and it is sitting on my desk because I took it off the wall and she keeps wanting to sit on it and it's like, girl, that is a nice poster. That is not for your booty. You're so cute. Oh my god. That means so much coming from a cutie like you, May. Bye, Fussy. Time for work for me. Sad times. I hope you give me a better career in your test. Okay, I hope so too. I hope so too. I hope I get to the end of this game and there's just a screen that says Dia should be a firefighter. That'd be kind of awesome. Why are you eating a banana with a fork? Oh my goodness. Okay. I feel like I need to show you a picture. Like it's not that weird. But I will say I don't eat bananas like off of the banana. Does that make sense? Like I don't take a bite like I don't unpeel it and then take a bite of the fruit because I feel like I don't know. Not to be weird, but I did that when I was in middle school once, and there's this boy who was like being really weird about it, and it made me so uncomfortable that now I don't do that anymore. So how I eat bananas usually, if I am not like sitting at my desk, is I'll unpeel it and then I'll like rip off pieces of it and then put those bite-sized pieces in my mouth. But I do not want to put my fingers on the banana because I'm streaming. And so I unpeeled it and I'm just kind of like using this fork and taking off little pieces, like little slices of banana. Does that make sense? It's pretty regular and I think you all should try it. Hey. Oh my goodness, Hero. Thank you for the 10 stream streak. This is so awesome. She's baby, still is baby. Ugh, she is baby. I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at her for having a good time. It's just like her idea of a good time is not lining up with my idea of a good time at this moment. Still a pantry time. Okay, well, she's not allowed in the pantry because I keep her dry food. Instead of keeping it in like the bag that it comes in, I have this like little container with a latch so that it like doesn't go stale and it's just a little easier to store. But she knows how to unlatch it. She like gets her little snout underneath it and she like pushes up. And one time I accidentally didn't close the pantry and I was like doing my thing, playing my little games at my computer, and I come back like 2 hours later. I look in the pantry and she's like in there eating it. I was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god, how much food did you eat today? You have biblical levels of greed." It was crazy. It was so crazy. Thank you for the hydrate, Carrot. Back to working life, so I can only work on my commute, but I'm listening so freaking intently. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you for your listening ears. I hope work goes so good today. I hope you really like your job. For real, I think some posters attract animals. I had a poster in my dorm that attracted bugs to sit on us. Oh hell nah. Shows your banana. Okay. It's pretty reg. Bam, 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 bam. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. Oh wait, how do I get a picture from my phone onto stream? Judge, I'm gonna DM it to you and then download it from from the DM. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, bam. I crush my bananas and devour them with skin. Ooh, can you eat banana skin? I've seen TikToks of people eating like lemon and orange peels because it's like good for your immune system. But is it the same with bananas or no? I think weirdos have ruined for women makes perfect sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. It just really stuck with me. And like it's been so many years and like sometimes I'm just eating a banana by my like nobody can see me right now. It's not a big deal, but that just really it just really rubbed me the wrong way. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm showing I'm showing my banana fork on screen or sorry, on stream. One sec. One sec. Banana fork. Do it, do it, do it, do it. Rice and bananas. Rice and bananas? Soul Phoenix, can you please explain that one a little bit? Do it, do it, do it, do it. Um, alright, you seeing this? Oh my god, it's so big. There's my wall. Um, there's my unplugged light strip because I'm moving and taking it down. Okay, you see this? You see this? Banana with a fork. See, it looks pretty regular, doesn't it? It looks pretty regular, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah, but you feel real silly for asking so many questions, huh? What kind of plug is that? um, it's for a Govee LED light strip that is on the top of my ceiling, but it's unplugged because I'm in the process of taking them down. However, the adhesive that keeps the light strip on my ceiling is so sticky that I have to use a hair dryer to like melt it off, and it's just such a process that I gave up halfway. And so like half of it is down, but the other half is still up, and the other half that's the plug for it. I got baby eating pretzels and dry pasta. Oh my god. Wait, dry pasta kind of is awesome. I kind of love dry pasta. Pasta, wall reveal. Buzz cup. Buzz put. Oh my god. You're pointing out all the boring things. Well, actually, my cup is kind of cute. It's a Christmas cup. My sister gave it to me. Are you eating it with a fork so that my hands don't get messy? You're eating a banana, guys. Guys, it's regular. Look at how regular this looks. Pretty cool, huh? Knife to peel it to stay refined. No. No. Maybe I should have. I don't know how you would even do that. But yeah, I like half unpeeled it and then put it on a plate and then put a fork on the plate. And here I am. But notice, I don't, can you see the little like nub on the other side? Yeah, I'm pretty classy. I peel my bananas upside down. Yeah. Apparently that's how monkeys do it. And people say it like makes it less stringy. I don't know if that's real, but I just think it's funny to look at. So that's where I'm at for today. Annoying kind that covers the outlet. You're so you're so right. Because the outlet for this plug is also the same outlet that I use to plug in like my PC. And I had to get like a special like I don't know what you call it. A thing that makes your like outlet instead of having like two plug-in options, it has like six. What do you call those? I don't know. But I had to get one of those because this stupid light strip plug takes up so much space. I feel like it would be more acceptable if you use a knife as well. But Charchi, the banana is so squishy. I can just like push through it. I don't really need a knife. I guess that would feel a little exciting. Where's the peanut butter? Ugh. I don't like peanut butter. I am such a peanut butter hater. I don't know. I'm trying to think of an instance where peanut butter would be okay. I had a Reese's, like the little candy, the peanut butter cups one time. And it was like a desperate situation. It was like in the break room at work and I was like, I need a little snack so bad, and that's all that there was. So I had like two of them and it's just not good. It's just not good whatsoever. Monkey sees bricks too. Oh my goodness, congrats on getting first, Tiger. Just disappointed. No, listen, it's like more peanut butter for everyone else, right? I'm just being so gracious and generous in allowing other people to eat that weird goop. No weird goop for me. Okay. Hold on. I gotta open up this game. But I'm nervous because it's a personality test game, right? And I've been told that it like tracks everything. Like how long it takes you to do stuff. So I was worried about pressing the play button and then it's sitting on the home screen and then not affecting my score. So let me oh my I didn't know I didn't know I was on dogs view. I accept banana with fork. Not for me, but I understand not wanting the sticky feeling on your fingers while you're doing other stuff. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my god, don't look at me. Sorry, I don't know. I didn't have legs for a second. Piece PCs are nasty. It's all about the cups. Oh no, I did have a cup. Like the Reese. Ah! Hold on. Hold on. Oh, hold on. I don't want you guys to miss this, but I do not have game capture on yet. Okay, there we go. The objective of this game is to gauge your personality. Do you guys think I'll get a good one? I hope I get a good one. Okay, get this. Sorry, Mad Sai. You get out of here. Okay, I studied really hard. Studied really hard for my personality test, so I hope we get a banger foe today. Okay. How's the volume feeling? Oh, thank you for the alert, Tiger. I have UPS battery backup because I'm scared of my computer getting fried and plugs like that take up way too much space. I don't know what a UPS battery backup is, but I feel you. I feel you. I don't know. I just kind of hope for the best. Just noticed Starchy didn't say hi back. That's always a bad omen. Last time it happened, my power cut out. Sheesh. Is Jarchi like cursing you? She says she doesn't peel her oranges. I low-key do not eat oranges. They're so stringy, and I feel like if you don't peel them absolutely perfectly correctly, the little like white like residue of the peel is so bitter. It's so bitter. So I'd rather just eat something else. Chips with gloves if I had the choice. Oh, that's so smart. You ever see those videos of people eating chips with chopsticks? It's like, man, that's pretty smart. That was pretty smart. I do not like chip dust. Hi, Ryan. Welcome in. Okay. Okay. I gotta stop stalling. We gotta take this test. The objective of this game is to gauge your personality. Oh my god. Samurai, planner, philosopher, martial artist, clown! Oh my god, clown. Sage, hero. Oh my god, hero. Gambler, clergy, judge, leader, butler, traveler, artisan, researcher, merchant. Oh my god, there's so many! Okay. I don't know. Collector. I don't know which one I would be. I don't think I have any strong feelings about any of these. They all seem fine. Out of 23 possible personality types, 5 will be chosen. Ooh. Oh my god, I get 5 personalities. One for each friend group. No doubt your personality won't change the story. There's always only one conclusion. I need to play to get hero. Oh my goodness. You have to be hero, surely. Surely that would work for... for the bit, right? There are no game overs either. So please, simply play however you feel like. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna play however I feel like. I really like the pose of this clown. She's like balancing a little ball on her foot. This is similar to the Myers-Briggs test. I don't think so, because I think it's like a game. Like, I don't think it's just a quiz, but I really don't know. And at times, please consider things seriously. Sleeper one! Oh my god. Yeah, where's the where's the sleeps until 1 minute past the designated start time? That would be me for real. Hi Darren, welcome in. Good day, or perhaps good evening. I welcome you to this establishment. I was wondering if you'd come here. Tenna's looking a little bit rough after the divorce. Please, do take a seat. Ooh, Darren also told me there's streamer mode. But I don't think I can get to the settings yet. Yes, I see. So you say you have no idea what you are, who you are, why you are. Well, in that case, I have the perfect game for you. Ooh, to DVD. Refined Self, a personality test game. It's an old game from 100 years ago, but it ought to be perfect for you. Alright, I'm so ready to play this 100-year-old game. It's not a setting, it just asks if you're streaming. Oh! Wait, that's good. I don't even have to think about it. TV wasn't Shambos? Trying to look kind of fine though, post-divorce glow up? You think so? I feel like he lost his color, his swag, his aura. And now he's just a beige man. First, please just give it a try. It should surely teach you what kind of human you are. To play, check the menu on that PC. Wait, I kind of like this pose. I wanna... Oh, you can read what like all the types are. Oh, and they're color-coded. Maybe this is kind of like the 16 personalities thing. Maybe it's kind of similar. Okay, album? Oh, very interesting. Okay, he said press the menu. New game? This test will take into account the time you take to make choices. Are you playing together with someone else? Or are you recording or streaming the game? Such players tend to take longer to make choices. To ensure an accurate assessment, please select yes if any of the above apply to you, or select no if not. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm streaming. I'm yapping, so please take that into account. Did he still keep those cartoon clown shoes? Question. My goodness, I hope we get to see his shoes. That'd be so funny if they're just like bright red. Getting right to it, are we? Well then, let me explain a bit about this game first. This game was created about 100 years ago by a particular doctor. They were evidently experiments to embed personality into dear robots via a game. Oh, that's kind of fun. Then I tweaked it a tad and appended some later records. Ah, do excuse me. I'm sure I've only been confusing you with this talk. I haven't had a chat in so long. I'm getting quite carried away. Aw, wait. He's kinda cute. I like him. The game takes into account if you're streaming pretty cool. Yeah, that's really, like, considerate of them. I quite like that. Right, before I speak up again, you should start playing. Well then, take your time. Frosty, I'm streaming. Game. Here's your location. There's social security and credit card information. It's fine. If that happens, I'll just put the banana pic on screen. Surely that will distract everyone. Zero emotional AI system connected by Dr. Kusunoki. 1. Starting in control mode and searching for master. Connection complete. Hello, old net. Set language, English. Oh my god, hello world mention? Hey, finally connected. Now we can begin the test. You're about to take a personality test via a game. You control a girl very important to me. Through that girl, you can do whatever you like. What? That's kind of ominous. What will you do with your limited time? What won't you do? It's all up to you. Oh my goodness, Scylla, please do not spill my coffee. Be aware, each decision will affect your personality. Oh my god, aware mention. And also, you can relax. There are no game overs here. So just act in the way you want. Oof. Oof. Okay, I think I'm ready. Are you learning a lot about yourself? Oh my goodness. So far, no, but surely we will soon. So let's spill the coffee. She already did! She did that at the beginning of stream. And then I had to leave, and it was so unfortunate. Thank you for that, Mick. Well then, let's begin the game. Oh, it almost got to 17. That's so sad. 17 is my favorite number. Oh, wait, this is really cute. I wasn't expecting it to be like this. The doctor is dead. What am I going to do with myself now? You can move around. I think I like arrow keys better than ASDF. You can perform certain actions when in front of objects. Oh, she's like a little wind up. Pick up. There's something on the ground. You picked up item on the ground. First thing. Merchant +2, adventure +1. Oh my goodness. When you trigger an analysis, you'll be notified of the cause of it and what personalities it affected. Well, Nice that you get to know where your like what choices your things come from. When your heart reaches 100%, the test will conclude, ending the game. Your heart fills with each action you take. It fills more when triggering an analysis. When you trigger an analysis, you'll be notified. Oh wait, okay. I think that was just cycling. Open. Read. Let's read what this is. Scrap dig site. Feel free to dig as you wish. Oh. Okay. You can open the menu, then check your items and change the game settings. Oh, that's not a setting. Is this a setting? A wallet with coins in it. A letter left by the doctor. First, let me oh my goodness. Yap. First, let me apologize for dying and leaving you behind. But it's alright. I prepared a little something so we can keep our promise. Though of course, I'll need your cooperation to regenerate me. I want you to care for the sheep. Oh, and also, be sure to live in the meantime. Well then, let's meet in 100 years. Is it saying if I care for the sheep that'll bring the doctor back to life? Okay, we got a little map. Ooh, I'm interested in this tree. Settings seem fine. Bus is gonna spend the whole time digging. Nuh-uh. I wanna... Are you sure we wanna pick up this flower? Even a small action like this will accumulate your heart. Yeah, I love flowers. I kind of want to like see what all my options are before I commit to digging. Ah! I was too busy looping the legendary to see her come in. Wait, what legendary did you fight? Did you catch it? Wait, no fishing? Is fishing an option? Yeah, low-key fishing is an option. We might be cooked. That's right. On this bench, the doctor called me by name. My name is... Oh, Utsuwa. That's a really pretty name. Should I keep this name or should I name it something else? Personality? Fisherman. Yeah, and I hope the description doesn't have anything to do with, like, personality. It's just like, she really likes fishing. Period. That's all. Realization. I cannot catch it since this is shield, meaning I can only get Zenta, but oh well. I'm gonna be honest, I cannot picture what those Pokemon are. But that's cool that you defeated it. What? 1 page! Ugh. 1 page personality, but it just says Fisherman. I kind of like changing names. Utsula is really pretty though. Should I be Foss or something else? That 3 is ugly. Suits you? What the hell? Sparkle Scrambly! Oh my god. Farkle low-key looks like an onomatopoeia for like dry heaving. Scrambly, we can be Scrambly in memory. Oh, I don't like when the text is red. Makes me feel like I'm being judged real hard. Just search them. They're big dogs and they have forms where one gets a big ass sword and the other gets a shield for their neck fur. Oh, like their scruff for their mane. I do know what those are. I just did not know what they're called. They're like the cover girls. Wrong answer. Surely the doctor had a sense of humor. Solo player +4? I'm not solo playing. Where did it get that from? I wasn't serious when I'm very happy. Well, that's why I did it. You now get a page of the personality analysis. It's so awesome. Yes. She told me, Scrombly, let's promise. That's so awesome. I like that she has got the, like, 2016 dip dyed hair. You think she used Kool-Aid for it? Should I fulfill that promise? Oh my god. My promise to the doctor. um... I want to know what it is, but I feel like it's safe in my heart. Feels more nice. They said your name is so bad, you must be alone. Bro. It's a good name. It's... It's a name that makes you smile when you hear it, you know? I guess I'll recall it just to be sure. Oh my god. Data. When you make a choice, the percentage of people who chose it is displayed. Wait, I don't I don't know what percentage was displayed. Ah! Oh my god. I'll recall it just to be sure. What she said that day. It was after someone came to the lab, I believe. Oh, cute. Plus 4% loner. Beater activities? What? Beater like Sword Art Online? Future Didn't Die finally ends. Alice shirtless guitar solo. Credits roll, but then slowly text fades in. Scrumbly return. And he has to wreak havoc on another world. Scrumbly's looking a little different here, I must say. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's kind of awesome. I'm kind of a Kirito enjoyer. I know people think he's annoying and lame and weird, but I think that endears him to me. Doctor, will I be disposed of? Oh, that's awkward. Doctor? I swear it. I swear I won't let that happen. I can't give you orders, but I can make promises. Scrombly, let's promise. Whatever happens, we'll be happy together. Oh, this is kind of like depressing. Understood. I too shall promise. Aww. You would like the lame, annoying, weird ones? Bro. You like Kirito? People think that. This is going into the personality analysis. Listen, it might be that I'm just like nostalgic. Like maybe he just gets a pass because that was one of the first anime I watched. But I don't know. I quite enjoyed him. Move? Move the shrine gate? Or is it saying like move through it? Can I look at the map? I don't know what that is. I want to get to this tree though. I can't believe you actually called her that. I'm realizing the consequences of my actions. It's like a deep touching moment. We're remembering our dead friend. And it's like, Scrumbly. Promise me. No, you're still forking that thing. I gotta go. Wait. Is it obvious? Sigh. Who are we talking about? The protagonist of the anime Sword Art Online is Kirito. And he's like really... I don't know. I feel like he's kind of a generic anime protagonist. Like he's just like very full of himself and like better than everybody else. And like all the women love him. But I like him. He's annoying and literally every woman in the entire series is in love with him. That's not his fault. June 21st. 2100XX. Here lies Kusunoki. Doctor, Clink, clink, clink. Oh, can you hear this? Clink, 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 clink. Yeah, my bad, guys. I am still forking that thing. I want to get to the tree. Maybe we take a dig break. Oh. Start digging! Dig. Dig, 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 dig. Scrap obtained. Oh, I don't want scrap. What if there's like gold? What if I'm literally that image of the miner with the diamonds? And I'm like so close to all the diamonds. I haven't seen it, but if there's something that pisses me off. 150 times! It's when women just throw themselves at the protag without him doing anything to warrant all that love. Yeah. No, like, I completely understand. And I think if I watched it for the first time today, I'd be like, this is weird. But I don't know. Kirito has a special place in my house of memories. Yearning for the mines! I'm yearning, I'm yearning! You are? Keep digging? It feels weird that it's, like, counting how often I'm digging. I'm gonna get, like, the digger personality, but I want a little prize. That's what happens in all Italian movies from the 60s. And I hate that I've seen enough of them to say that. I think that's kind of awesome. Well, the concept of, like, protagonists being really lovable, that's not the awesome part. But I think it's awesome that you've seen so many. He did free everyone in the end, though. I don't know. I feel like he was kind of charismatic. Like, I don't know. Maybe I would have had a crush on him too if I was in that world. Guys, do you think there's a prize for this? Or do you think I'm just scrapped up? This is essentially Gamba? Yeah, but at least with Gamba, you like know the percent chance of getting like the big rare character or whatever you're gambaing for. I don't even know if there's anything here. But I gotta... Maybe after like 1,000 times, it'll be like... You got $1 billion! Like, it's weird when Kirito is already together with Asuna? I guess to be fair, I've only seen like... the first season, like... a bunch of times. Like, I know I watched the Elfheim stuff, but not as much. Like, I kind of forget that part. At least in the first season, like, he's not actually with her. Like, exclusively. Digging for Norgs! There's gotta be an org. Not of my own volition, it was for a test. I hate you, Federico Fellini. And I would not have a crush on your self-insert protags despite what... I don't know who that is. That sounds so awesome. Censored for hating on Fellini. Ain't no way. I don't know what you got automated for. Maybe that I hate you. Yukio is right there? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been too long. Oh. I don't remember who that is. I mean, my mouse keeps like falling off the dig button. And I'm like, oh, we're at the end. You and him got that far anyway? Oh. Yeah, I guess I'm basing my Kirito opinions on what I remember, what I've seen. But I don't know. I kind of like characters who are cocky. Oh, man. Ichi is a better character? I wish. Wait, this is so awesome. Metallic jump scrap. Someone might collect this. A small flower you could find anywhere. Probably not useful for anything. Man, whenever I find someone who might collect this, I'm gonna make their whole entire day. Sorikitsu, that was my favorite season? Yeah, I don't think I saw it. Surely you turn a profit. Surely. Surely. Ugh. First part of alkalization is peak. I don't know. I think I got to the part where they save Leafa. And that's it, maybe. But low-key, that was in middle school. I tried to rewatch it again like 2 years ago. But, I don't know. I got to like episode 4 and then I said honk. Me. It's a little freaky, but we look past it. We simply pretend we do not see the little freaky part. I feel like there's a lot of little freaky stuff in that show. Oh, ... I'm talking about S censored O. Yeah, I don't know. I really liked the like first season. Like, there were some weird parts, but I thought it was a nice story. Is Sword Art Online good? Should it be added to the list of shows that make me say I should start watching anime but never actually do it? I think if you like took a random sampling of people and said, is Sword Art Online good? I think most of them would be like, no. But I liked it. I personally liked it. I have 2 shirts from that show. They're old as hell. They're like all stretched out, but I still wear them as jammies sometimes. There are better ones to watch. What's the best one in your personal opinion? I like it, but it's so weird. There are better options. First season is peak. Just watch it. Just watch it. If you don't like it, it's not my fault. Yeah, that's kind of real. What is this even about? I don't know how long I've been cooking. It's still giving me scrap. Maybe you can just dig forever and ever and ever. I love GGO, but the Kirito is a girl joke is unfortunate to me. Oh. Yeah, I never saw that, but that is quite unfortunate. Gachiakuda? Delicious in Dungeon? Oh wait, I think you told me about that one. I have not seen it. Spin-off is 3D Cheeks. The Gun-Gale season was alright, but it was so lame. I literally tried using an umbrella as a sword. It was Oh. Gachiakuda is nice. It's very nice. I think during like the pandemic is when my anime watching peaked, and I just have not watched more than 1 anime per month since then. The ones on the list so far are Naruto. Twitter keeps showing me Sasuke fan art. Straight up! Oh my god! I love that one. I love that one. You should watch that one. Death Note. This is one I'll probably actually like. Also, it's emo. I haven't seen Naruto or Death Note. I have to assume Death Note is good though. Like I've seen a lot of like fan content for it. That's really nice. You need to finish Apothecary Diaries. Ooh, that's so real, but then it'll be over. If I just never start season 2, then it'll always be there. What are you doing? What? What? I want a little reward for digging. Surely there's a little reward for digging enough. Surely you just gotta be persistent and locked in like me. Sorry. First mining, quit digging. Wait, quit after digging 5 times. What? That did not happen. I did not quit digging after 5 times. I actually quit digging after like over 500 times. Except for being fucking dumbass. 9%? What is the personality test like a letter grade? On a 4.0 GPA scale? I'm gonna go to my meeting and come back and you're dumbass. Bro, what if there's something cool? The reward is more scrap. You guys are just jealous of my amount of scrap. Bet you've never seen this much scrap before. I don't know what this is. It looks like a can, maybe. Move. I'm gonna see if you're still digging. Let's break. No! Guys, I'll come back to digging, surely. You failed the personality test. Man, and I studied so hard for this. You can't get a bad grade, but you get a bad grade. Man, I'm gonna get the clown personality type. Connection complete. Hello, old net. Sorry, there's a slight addendum I should make. Addendum, sorry. I want you to observe how humans other than me act. If I could give her a proper human heart and personality, she surely wouldn't head for that conclusion. What conclusion? So please, act freely, however the mood strikes you. Your personality lurks within casual acts. For instance, let's see. Once able to move, you picked something up, right? But others would move on, or check the grave. It's little things like that. Those unconscious bits distinguish humans from machines. That makes sense. We don't need an analysis to know you're a clown. Bro! Honk honk. All I know about Death Note is there's a guy with the bangs, the big freaking monster man, and the guy who sits weird and is trying so hard to look like a human, but there's no he is. I can envision who you're talking about. I don't know any of their names except for L. I hope you get the paper towel. Man. I hope you bonk your head on your ceiling. As I explained, the test ends when your heart fills to 100%. It's up to you what actions you fill that heart with. It might fill it faster than you think, so be careful. Now, how about we continue the game? I feel like they kind of already said that before. Oh, during mini-games, notifications may not appear even though the test is still ongoing. You make a choice, a percentage of people who chose it is displayed. You already told me that. This shack is quite ugly looking. Wait. Will divine your luck. Will divine your luck? Luck? I like luck. Oh my god, what is this? Want your fortune told? Yeah! Creature. Just watch Nana? This track is just based off vibes? Okay, that's not what I've seen the fashion. Yo, amazing. How about we continue this game? You are banned from the mines. Yo, you're just jealous that I got a billion scraps and you don't. Oh, if it isn't Scrumbly, what's got you wandering around here? Bored without the doctor here? Oh, Scrumbly looks so listless. Huh, seems you're pretty distressed. That's an old robot like me's time to shine. Act now, and I'll tell your fortune for 5 coins. Normally it's 10 coins, you see? Well, it's half off. Once I sell all that scrap, I'll surely be rich. Lurk, work time. Thank you so much for the lurk. I hope work is so good. If you kept digging, maybe you would have got a diamond. Man. Okay. I'll go back to the mines. We'll get the diamond eventually. Imagine getting your fortune told by someone and it's not Hero. Gonna be 100% right instead of 30%. Where's the element of surprise? Oh, that's so real. That's so real. But surely it'll still come true. Hi, Rebel. Welcome in. Okay, I'm paying 5 coins for a fortune. Oh, see? 74% of people agreed with me. I guess I'll get my fortune. She is blushing. There we go. What fortune do you want? Has anybody actually got their fortune told? I have not, but I feel like going to a fortune teller and being like, what should I not do? Or like, what should I do is kind of strange. I do my own tarot? Yo! Wait, that's kind of cool. I don't have a tarot deck, but I think the aesthetics of it is quite cool. Had a friend do tarot for me a couple of times. I guess Mick Salsa has done tarot for me. But usually it's just like reading about what's going to happen in the future, not what you should do in the future. I don't really want to be told what to do or what not to do. But I guess tell me what not to do. Oh. Almost an even split. It's 1 p.m. meaning I've been up for 20 hours. I'm gonna go to bed. Have a wonderful streaming day. Thank you, Karen. Good night, good night, good night, good night. And thank you for the hydrate and stretch. I hope you have very sweet dreams. What I shouldn't do, I guess. I see. I'll try divining it. Oh, this is cool. Touch the crystal 3 times at whatever time you'd like. Do you think it's more lucky if you wait longer? Like you gotta let the luck charge up. Yes. Alright. 17 mentioned. Aha. What you shouldn't do, Scrumbly, is... He's gonna tell me to not go digging in the mines, and I'm not gonna listen. Nothing in particular. Really? Yup. You can just follow your whims. Alright. Oh, although... would probably be good to wind that key on your back. Did he just wind up the key on my back? Come to think, why aren't you winding it? Didn't the doctor attach it for your sake as an old model scrumbly? So that you could move all on your own? Well, I get that you're depressed with the doctor dead. But not winding your keys as good as dying. Oh. Like, this is so serious. Yeah, I know. Was that my fortune? Keep that wind-up key wound. How do I wind it? I don't think I can. 17 is such a good fave number. Ugh, thank you. Thanks. I think it's pretty awesome. Oh, I'm saved. Large one? I should not have come into this dirty shack. Could you take that battery and give it to me? Those little thieves destroyed my body, so I can't get it by myself. Without it, I'll surely die, and I cannot move. I beg of you. Hold on just a second. Please, have mercy on our poor little selves. They're kinda cute. We will die without the battery. Give the battery to us, please. Oh. Hmm. This is like a trolley problem. Like, it was his battery in the first place. So shouldn't he be entitled to it? But there's two of these guys. Or we just leave and let them all die. A battery. What to do? I feel like the wording is kind of making me want to pick... Give the needy a chance. That makes it sound like it's the correct answer. You should watch Mickey 17. He really was the best Mickey. And it's because he was 17. Oh, it's only because he was 17. He was 17 years old? Or he was the 17th Mickey? I'm gonna be honest, Apex, I feel like you've talked about this film on multiple occasions, but I still do not really grasp like what the film is about. He's the 17th Mickey. Okay. That makes sense, I think. Maybe it's better. Is it crazy to think maybe it's better if they just all don't have the battery? If they all die, then nobody has to feel guilty. Except for me, but like I can take that. I don't know, that feels kind of messed up, but I don't really want to choose one over the other. The big one did ask first. I can take that. Well, yeah. Yeah, I don't want these little guys to have the guilt that their existence meant that somebody else had to die. I feel like that would suck really bad. So if they just put all the blame on me, then then they'll, you know, I guess they'll be dead, but they'll be chilling. You know, like moral wise. Oh, that was the least common option. Pacifist. I must destroy the source of the strife. Hey, talk to them. It's cold and motionless. They're cold and motionless. Oh, I should have never came in here. Wham, wham, wham. Move. Huh. Pick up. Flower obtained. You're getting a bad grade. Why am I getting a... Oh my goodness, hi. This person's pretty. Look in the mirror. I love looking in the mirror. Ooh. It's about a guy who gets cloned a bunch of times. It's basically his job to be an expendable test subject. Until one day something happens and there's 2 that stay alive. The 18th Mickey starts trying to kill the 17th one. It's very silly, goofy, and good. Also, Rabbit Pattinson twice. Oh, wait, I didn't know it was like a silly, goofy. That sounds really nice. Good plot. I'm so mad I got no Oscar noms at all, but what else is new? Oh. You should make your own award system. You should have an Aphex award. It's just gonna say this freak spent the whole time in the mines and picking flowers and killing people. Well... okay, well don't say that! Picking flowers is real though. That can go on my personality. I love flowers. It's me. My reflection. Who am I? What should I do? What is my sin? I don't really need to know any of that. I'm just vibing. I feel self-actualized. I don't... don't tell me about my sins or what I need to do. Well, I guess the one I dislike the least of these is Who Am I? 31%. Who am I? I'm Scrombly. The doctor created me. And to the doctor, I'm the doctor's friend creation. It's unclear. I think friend? The doctor seemed to care. Maybe that's a little bit delusional. It felt maybe more like it was like a parent relationship. But I think it was more special than just creation. Friend. Thought of yourself as the doctor's friend. Butler! What the hell? Should really play this, I think. I'm always thinking of my own answers in my head. You should. I think it goes on sale sometimes, but it's not that expensive. I got this when it was on sale, and it was like $5. I already know my sin is greed. Oh, I don't... Maybe. Maybe. A little bit of sloth as well, perhaps. I don't know. I kind of... maybe like a little bit of all of them. It's fine. It's chill. Yes. I'm the doctor's friend. This is no good. Mirrors just make me feel bad. I'll step away. Oh. I want to talk to this fella. What to do, I can't decide. Kokoro? Hey. Did you go to the doctor's grave? I did. Yeah, I did. Huh. I guess so. Do you think the doctor is really dead? What do you mean? I mean what I said. Do you think the doctor is dead? I wonder if this is a creation too, because they have the same eyes. Dead. I don't know. Not dead! Exclamation point. I don't really know. I didn't really see what happened. But in the letter it said she'll be revived and to take care of the sheep. I like the exclamation point on not dead. I feel like I feel like that's the kind of energy I want to bring, but I don't want to just like lie to this girl to get her hopes up. I'll say I don't know. I don't know. But in my memory, she's certainly dead. So this feeling might be me not wanting to believe it. Ooh, oh my goodness. Everybody's losing their gambles in the chat. Aw, hell nah. Y'all are cooked. Yeah. I guess so. Sorry for the weird question. And to you of all people. No, it's okay. But really, what should we be doing now? There's nothing else to do, so I've tried drawing it and things. Drawing and things. Not cooked, I have plenty. Yeah, but it's like a little cooked. Oh yeah, this is perfect actually. I'm drawing a picture of a sheep, but I'm having trouble finishing it. I can't decide what colors to make it. Oh my goodness. Can I help you? Well, do you want to paint it? Yes. I'll paint it for coins is crazy. I'll help. Please, 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 please. Sure, I'll try it. Thanks. That's a big help. Oh my god, what kind of sheep is this? What kind of moose are we looking at? Okay. Well, although this is a nice color palette, I feel like the sheep is gonna blend in with the background a lot. Hehehe, sheep. Does white look the same? It does look the same. Minecraft sheep! Wait, that's kind of awesome. I want him to like stand out a little bit. Hehehe, sheep. I think he blends in with the sky too much, but if he's orange, he blends in with the grass too much. And then this isn't very distinctive at all. This is a bee! We could make it like a bee. Wait, that's kind of cute. I kind of like that. Man, I think orange looks the best. But I wish... Game expression? Paint the sheep! That's cute. Maybe it's fine if he blends in a little bit. If only it could be pink. You're so right. Gah. Well... Yeah. That's good. Are you sure you're finished? Man, I don't like when it asks me if I'm sure in red letters. Yes. Personality test progressing. Okay. I see. So that's how you painted it. Now I should be able to finish it. Thank you. Take these coins too. Thank you. Are you sure? Your sheep is kind of bad, so we want to make sure. Bro. Man, I bet you did a bumblebee sheep. Send them to war! The sheep? Why would we send the sheep to war? Or do you mean these people? Who are we sending to war? I'm scared. Oh my god. Please don't perceive my banana noises. Uh, uh, Mine was just normal black and white. Understandable. I guess black, or I'm sorry, I guess white probably would have stood out more. But I wanted it to look like a not normal sheep. Clink, clink. Man. Thank you. Oh my goodness. You did not have to give me money for that. Alright. I need to be by the tree. Ahead. Giant tree in Laptown! I need giant tree. What is this? Traffic light. There's no traffic here. Move. Damn, new outfit! Oh my goodness, yeah! This is my Valentine's outfit! Oh my goodness, I'm so glad you like it! Thank you, thank you, thank you! They have camouflaged the sheep? Oh. So, you're saying when you see something that's camouflaged, your first instinct is to send them to war? Ahead, Machine Village and Lighthouse Hill. I think that's where I came from. Flower. And scrap. Oh my god, a bird! Can I talk to you? Die, just die! A crow drone. What do I do? The doctor told me to kill these. Why did the doctor tell you to kill these? Where? Kill me if you think you can. No telling what might happen to you, though. Where? I want to try petting so bad. But if it's, like, supposed to be, like, a war weapon thing, I'm kind of afraid of Scrumbly getting hurt. But, like, I'll try it. Surely it's worth a try. That's what everyone did. Had the best team, kind of out and about, but had to say something. Oh my goodness, thank you! I hope you have a lovely day, out and about. Sheep sleeper agents. Just normal sleeper agents, but not really an agent, just a sleeper. That's me. There. Stop it! Don't screw with me. Ow! It attacked me. Oh. I hope she's fine. Whoa! These are some funky footsteps. Tree! Oh my god, sheep! Wait, let me read this letter again. Oh my god. I want you to care for the sheep. Oh, and also, be sure to live in the meantime. Oh, to regenerate me, I want you to care for the sheep. Okay, are these the sheep? Let me care for them. Inori. Was there one like this? Who could she be? What should I ask? What are these around here? What are these things around here? Sheep. They watch over everything, as well as keeping a record. I see, I guess. They are of utmost importance. Thus, I have a request. Please touch some sheep and come back. Specifically, sheep other than those here. I believe there should be 3 or so out there. If you find them, I'll give you coins. Okay. No reason not to. Boss is a sleeper agent that takes the title too literally. Yeah, what can I say? I'm really good at my job. Sleeping. Alright. I greatly appreciate it. Can I touch these sheep though? Dunk, 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 dunk. Such a nice step. Dunk, 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 dunk. A sheep! Touch. I touched it and it vanished. Are these the sheep I was told to touch? I don't think I've seen any of their sheeps. Check AC unit? I don't really wanna. Can I... How do you scrap on you? So you want a ladder set up? Ramen's 20 coins a bowl! Give me that! Ramen, you want some? It's 20 coins a bowl. That day. Nostalgic ramen that will make you remember that bygone day. A traditional and basic flavor. The New World. An extremely unique ramen. Flavor bound to overturn your entire idea of ramen. Glimmer. The world's most popular ramen. Earned 721 stars from the Michelin Guide? I don't really... I don't really need to remember stuff, I don't think. But I don't know which one's better. You're poofing them out of existence? No! They're getting poofed back home, surely. To that girl. The little shepherd girl. Cooking like a chef from a 721 star Michelin. I don't know, this is probably popular because it's really good. But I like the idea of it being extremely unique. I guess we'll do unique. Will you really Yeah, I don't have anything better to buy. Give me that. This is the best! The ultimate flavor. It's like nothing I've ever eaten. Like it'd be fresh every time. It reminds me of eating with the doctor. Man, I specifically didn't choose the first one because I didn't want her to be reminded of painful memories. Frost, are you sure? Yes! I'm so confident in my choices. Don't make me second guess myself. I like how you read that in a deep voice. Well, Felix has a deep voice. I feel like the occasion warranted it. Ah, that was tasty. I agree. It would be accurate to describe it as delicious. You know, I always wanted to eat ramen with a friend like this. Wait, I was right, they are friends. I thought maybe I was being a little bit hopeful and delusional when I said they were friends. But it's nice that they are. Then your dream has come true. I'd have no problem eating this every day. Well, I'll pass on doing it daily. But it'd be nice if we could eat like this forevermore. What? She wants to do it forever, but not daily? Maybe she means forever as in like... like twice a month. But like... for the rest of her life. Can I have more? Oh, shop's closed for the day. More noodles. Afraid we're closed for the day. Sigh. Do I want a ladder set up? Was there somewhere that a ladder would be useful? Can I trade scrap for it? Scrambly, good to see you. Truth is, the doctor entrusted me with a job. To set up a ladder wherever you wanted it. Of course, I'm that ladder, so I'll die once I do the job! But hey. That's crazy that the doctor made the ladder person sentient. Now, where do you want the ladder? A spot that gives you a shortcut could be good. Or you could use it to reach somewhere inaccessible. Why would the ladder die? Maybe like you see these rungs. Maybe like you step on its little head and it doesn't have like a skull, so its brain is just exposed. So as soon as you step on his brain, it's just like game over for him. I don't want to sacrifice him, but I feel like there is kind of something to be said. Well, I don't really know what the ladder wants, you know? I guess the way that they're wording it, maybe they don't sound super happy about it. But if you're entrusted with like one job, and it's your life's purpose, maybe if you don't give it to them, then it's like, oh, this guy's suffering. But I'm not, I don't know. I don't really know if like he wants to be sacrificed or not. That does feel kind of messed up. Inaccessible area, cool though. You don't say that. You asked. Take the therapy. Yeah, I don't know the extent of like. Are they allowed to like leave? Like, can they just travel with me finding sheep? A new life's purpose? Inaccessible area go brr though. Guess I won't do that to him. I don't need a ladder set up. It's not so important you have to sacrifice yourself. Phew. Okay, so it wasn't like a life's purpose thing that I was neglecting them. That's that's good to know. I'm glad I didn't do it then. If a ladder was a human, they would wear blue plaid button-ups. Blue plaid button-ups? It's true I don't make the rules. I don't really know where you got this idea from, but I think you're right. I think they'd look very blue collar. Thanks, that's a relief. But tell me anytime if you do want one set up. After all, it was the doctor's request. Is the doctor low-key messed up? Yo, what are you? Do you require information? No, I don't need information. You're cute, though. Got any scrap on you? Give me $1 billion, please. Hey there, you got any scrap? I'll trade you coins for it. The going rate's 10 coins for 1 scrap. Oh my god, I'm so rich. I'll trade for coins. Good doing business. Here's your coins. Oh my god, all that mining was worth it. Sometimes I get synesthesia visions. Yo! Synesthesia visions, but it's like date everything style. Read poster. It's a poster. Fakers will never be the real thing. Is this talking about us? Oh my god, are we fakers? Not checking the garbage. Vending machine. You know, I am a little thirsty. Punch is crazy. I could just buy something, I think. Wait, talk was an option. Darn it, I should have talked to it. What to buy? Best red bean soup, please. Slurp, slurp. It's tasty, but it makes my throat dry. Oh. I wanna talk to it. Hello? Vending machine? Maybe talking's not their strong suit. It's kind of cute. Ahead, Lab Town. Warning, always raining due to experiment. I like rain. Yo, a kitty! It's a kitty! Ah, look at her face. Move it aside! That is so mean. Oh, wait, I did not mean to click on that. Okay, well, what a horrible person. Sorry. Could you move out of the way? Goodbye, kitty. I wanted to talk to you. Oh. What's this? I think this is the key the doctor had to the lighthouse store. I didn't even know it was locked. What's it doing here? Creature. I'm destitute. I like him. It truly is. The latter person reminds me of this guy I had a crush on once. He was really ladder? Was he really tall? Like a tall, lanky fella? Or like what about him specifically was a ladder? Hi, Waffle. Thank you for hydrate and stretch. It hurts. I'm in pain. You there. Would you show me a kindness of 5 coins? Actually, you give me coins. That's crazy. You can have 5 coins. Don't worry, I got a lot of scrap money. He wasn't tall at all, actually. Just ladder. Oh. I'm having a hard time picturing someone who is a ladder. Who is not, like, tall and skinny. But I will believe you. Sure, I'll give you 5 coins. I'm saved. How will 5 coins help you? Oh, wait. Wait, I went. Is this the way to the rainy area? Can she be in the rain? Pick up! Yo! A poster. It's a poster. Give back our jobs! Is this talking about us? Oh. That's kind of sad. Cafe! Oh my god. Why do we like coffee, I wonder? We need moisture to maintain power. Yet it's not a direct power source. And yet, my feelings have an inclination for coffee. Well, because it's bland. Bland? If you can feel similar feelings to me, to a human, won't that make you a good partner who can share things with them? What? A good partner. I don't really know what that means. She likes coffee because it's bland? And that makes you... Oh my god, play! An old shooting game. Oh, a shooting game. I don't want to play a shooting game. I'll inspect it. It's not really a thing that makes sense. Just a vibe. It was his eyes somehow. Oh. Aphex, you truly are a visionary, I think. That is... I don't know. I feel like if somebody looked into my eyes and said, you are a ladder, I feel like I would not... I don't know. I would somewhat be not flattered. I'd be like, really? A ladder? I don't know what I'd want instead, though. Ugh. I think I'd rather be like a couch or a blanket. I'll inspect it. Let's see. This was made over 80 years ago. Pretty old. The creator is Shigeru Kusunoki. I believe that was the doctor's grandfather. Aww. Can I have coffee? Oh, wait, I like Dole. She's pretty. Ah, what a hassle. The doctor may be gone, but customers sure do come still. It's all so tedious. But now who should I see but someone who might help? Forget that, I want a drink. I do want to help, but I'm worried if I try to help too many people, the meter will fill up too fast. And then I won't actually end up helping anyone. Well, I still have to find that person's sheeps. I don't say that stuff. I can't just tell a guy his eyes are leather. Maybe you should. Maybe that's kind of aura. Help with what? Help? With what? Help out at the cafe, duh. Just gotta serve coffee to customers. Well, anytime's fine. Talk to me when you're ready. Welcome. I mean, I think I'm ready. Well, feel like helping now? Forget that, I want a drink. I'll help. Sure, I'll help. Runner? Was a compliment, though. Like, it was the good parts of a ladder. Reliable? Reaching towards the sky, maybe? Am I cooking or cooked? I don't know. I want to say you're cooking. Because the way you're describing it does sound quite pleasant. It's like, oh. Like you're an uplifting person. You know, reliable, sturdy. But you know, it's just not a metaphor that you hear too awful often. Definitely something to think about. Hooray! I've been waiting. Tips minus costs equals profit. Thanks for your help. If you wait around, customers will come. When they do, give them the coffee they want. Milk and sugar and stuff cost extra. I'll let you keep tips, but subtract any extra cost. If you please customers, you might get extra tips. Okay, let's wait for customers. Make the coffee the customer wants. What should you do to make them happy? Okay, warm coffee please with sugar. Okay, hot. Sugar. Serve. I'll take this. Well made. I'll give you a tip. Yo, 17 mention. Good work. The customer was pleased. I'll add it up. Wonder if a customer will come. What if I just make something that's like really crazy? Anything warm's fine with me? Okay, bet. Hot. Oh my god, and then put cinnamon in there. And sugar and milk. Oh yeah. That's... And a chili. And medicine. Surely he'll like it. Thank you for this. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you. Okay, here you go. Here goes. Do you love it? Delicious. I'll pay extra for it. Oh yeah. I low-key lost money, but it's fine. I wanted to put everything in the cup. A customer's here. Leaving it up to you, miss. I like cold coffee, but not in a mug. That's kind of goofy. Cinnamon. Cold with cinnamon. That sounds kind of nice. Thank you, I'll take it. Your flavor, miss. It's what? Bro, don't call my favorite. Man, is this Papa's Coffee-ria? I feel awful. I think so. If you feel awful, you probably want something hot. with medicine. And you know, put some cinnamon in there. That might help as well. The likes of me doesn't deserve. Wow. Thank you for the ultimate drink. My goodness, at least somebody appreciates me. I'll add it up. Okay. I think I'm doing alright. I don't have coins, but I wanted milk coffee. Why did you come to a coffee shop if you don't have coins? Look, go away. Man. Fine. You can have your milk coffee. You can have some sugar in it too, whatever. Thank you very much. Hahaha. You're kind, aren't you? Here's a tip. You just lied about being broke? Okay. A customer's here. This guy's drooling. I don't really know what that means. You're a little freak, right? So you probably want a little freak coffee. You can have cold chili coffee. He didn't give me anything. Good work. Hey, don't sweat it. Okay. Oh, cool. We had the same order. Cold coffee with chili in it? That's your order? Hey there. Could you tell me what the ultimate cup is for me? Is this the painter girl? Okay, well, my ultimate cup, personally, would be milk, sugar, and cinnamon. Now then. I see. So this is the ultimate cup. $15 in tips. This is so awesome. Good work. The customer was pleased. I'll add it up. Good work. That was a breeze thanks to you. Sure would be nice if you always helped. Oh, I'm not doing that again, but thanks for the kind words. OMG Ultimate Cup. Scrumbly Ultimate Barista. Come on, Monokuma. Yo, you keep Monokuma away from Scrumbly. This girl is low-key depressed. Thanks. Was a breeze thanks to you. Oh, and here's your reward. Yippee! Oh my goodness, I need to find the rest of the sheep before my bar fills up all the way. I don't want to leave that one girl hanging. Cardboard box. It's damp. Open it up, try getting inside, check what's written on it. Well, obviously, if you see a box, you want to open it. But try getting inside is really funny, and I just think I want to see her do that. I'll look inside. That's awesome. She's in there. I didn't know she would fit. I guess it was just an empty box. There's so many sheep. Like, look, there's a sheep logo on the cafe as well. I wonder why the doctor likes sheep so much. Need a cigarette? No! Casino! Shoot. Smoke? No. Oh my god. Okay, I'll come back for this casino. Maybe, hopefully. I need to find the sheep for this girl, though. I really don't want to let her down. Connection complete. Hello, old net. Hey there. Seems the test is moving along. Let's see now. Seems the judgment category is leading right now. What? Am I judgy? Am I don't think I like that. I don't think I want the judgment category. If you want to know more, you can go to the lab basement. Right. The test is pretty far along, but do you want to play this game a little longer? Although it's over once you reach 100%. I could delay your progress a bit. How about it? Well then, let's meet again at the game's end. Delay progress. Well, I do want to play the game more, but I feel like I should just go with what my true grade is and not like prolong it just so that I have a good time. No. What is this? Throw? Oh. I didn't know it was a throw situation. What are you? I'm lonely. That's weird. Sorry, it's not weird to be lonely, but it's weird to poke out of a little cave and say, I'm lonely. Fishing pole. Welcome. Man, I do want to fish, but I have stuff to do. Manager type? Now, this isn't good. They've already come this far. They might really attack. Wait, this is the little guy from the beginning. This is Tenna, I think. Weird, I do that every day. But then again, I also call people ladders, so... Oh. You're telling me you hide in the dark and you go, I'm lonely. To anyone who passes by. Ugh. This game is actually more difficult than I thought. Because, like, yeah, the thing fills up fast. Like, I think my nature in games is to click on everything and talk to everyone. You gotta really choose what to prioritize, you know? It's all but certain. A recon model was already shot down. No way. But the doctor isn't even here. Right about now, she should be having peace talks. But then why? Because they never intended on making peace, I assume. That's cowardly. It certainly is. Well then, I will handle attacks from the aircraft. Miss Scrumbly, please defend against the infantry. Bro, I am not trying to go to war right now. I will provide backup occasionally, so find a way to hold out. Alright. What? Yo, I'm looking for sheep. What am I doing? Defeat the encroaching enemies. Strengthen up as you choose with periodic upgrades. An enemy gets close, they explode. Press E to fire your gun. Let me get out of here. Scramble front. Oh. Attack up, reload speed up, expand magazine. Let's expand the magazine. Oh my goodness, this is kind of hard. Attack up. See, there is a war. I wish there's a leave button. I don't want to be in war right now. Attack. Oh, you can click instead of pressing E. That's kind of nice. How long do I have to be here? Am I just stuck here until they inevitably get me? Formation rate 88%. Oh my god. Oh my god, get out of here. You're scaring me. No, the scramble front! Please, just work. Wait, was Scrambly made to be just like a little war machine? Ugh. Thank goodness. Doctor, Yes, you got damage defending back there. You were left no choice but to shut down. Then, the enemy? It's okay. The others managed to handle it. They only got a little singed. But you were gravely wounded, you know? It was rough, but I'm glad you recovered, truly. Is that so? But I'm wondering... why? With this island's equipment, wouldn't it be more efficient to build me from scratch? You could just back up my memory, idea, and behavior data. Judging from the time I shut down, repairing me took roughly 70 hours. And comparing your health to usual, even the naked eye can tell you hardly slept. Why do something so inefficient? True. Maybe it'd be easier to start from scratch. That just wouldn't do. You're you. Data is data. There's a you dwelling in there, I think. But I can't explain it myself. Why don't you increase the magazine size? That's the first option I did. But then I realized, like, I don't know. In my head, like, having more attack is better than having more bullets. I'm sure it, like, all equals the same, but I'm more of an attack girly. Even if I moved backup data to a freshly made you, I couldn't see it as you. Feels like that's what the human heart is. Aww. This doctor loves this robot so much. I see. Aww. Very cute. It's kind of getting me. Like, in my feelings, you know? Yeah. I didn't think this game would be sad. It is a bit sad. Did I just go in a big circle? That's good. I need to find sheeps. I can feel my robophobia washing away. Man. As a known robot lover, this is... yeah, this is pretty peak. Oh my god. Something fell. That is not my problem. Aww. I don't think I've seen that much media where it's like... a human makes a robot, and then they're besties, and then, like, you know, the human dies, and the robot, like, lives on its own. Oh, what the hell was that? I guess being Puppy Cat is kinda like that, but I feel like that's not the point of the show. I feel like that would be good film. Oh, mic off. Oops, my bad. I don't know. I don't know when I muted. Actually, also a robot lover for real, for real. The themes of questioning what it's like to be human are very dear to my heart. So real. So real. Detroit become human, my beloved. I wasn't sure if I was just being especially quiet. No, I was yapping. But I don't think I said anything terribly important. But yeah, I really like robots. I really feel for them. Managed to defeat it. It turned into goopy scrap. Oh, turned into scrap. That's rough. Can I walk forever? Out of the coast? Am I walking on water? Or maybe it's just like, you know, since it's 2D, it just looks like we're walking on the water. Cannot wait for you to play V3 and get a new robot meow meow. Ugh. Oh my gosh. I also cannot wait for robot meow meow. I wonder if I can walk forever. I mean, it's gonna really suck getting back. But what if this is just like the mines? Surely there's a time if we go all the way down the coast. Just know you're gonna love him a lot. I do too. He's my little guy. It's so awesome. I love little guys. Yeah. Okay, maybe we go back. I mean, only 12% left. I would like to... Oh, wait, that was not nearly as long on the way back. I would like to find the sheep for that person. And then I want to gamble all my money at the casino. I think that would be quite nice. I hope the sheep is not locked behind like a ladder. Well, I didn't even get to go fishing. That's okay. I would have spent 1 billion years doing that. But I have other things to do. Maybe I should have delayed the test. Whoa. A train station. I assume the sheeps are outside. How do I get back to where I was? Where is this gate? You closed? Ugh, still closed. You can have my dead corpse scrap. Here you go. Only 22 actions left to do that? Oh my god, it's not even 22 actions though. Was it? Not every action is 1%. Oh man, I'm not even gonna have time to gamble. Okay, what if I found 1 sheep for you? Is that chill? Did you touch the sheep? I didn't touch them. I touched one of them though. No, I haven't yet. See, please talk to me once you do. I touched one. Is that good enough for you? I really want to go gambling. Scrap? I don't want scrap. What the? What? Kibo? Kibo? I'm the helper type model, Kibo. I thought you might have troubles, so I fired myself out. Is that so? Are you alright? You fell head first. Are you alright? Yes, I'm okay. Sorry, I thought you might be having trouble. I wondered if I should give you something the doctor left. The doctor? Yes, please pick one. Coins or movement speed or affection? Oh my god, I want affection. Give me that. Then, I guess I'll accept a bit of affection. Just a bit? Yeah. Wait, this is cute. Robot girlfriends. Now I miss the robot man, so I'm gonna go play V3. Gotta finish already, bruh. It's not funny. This is taking too long, lurk. Oh my goodness, thank you for the lurk. I hope the robot man is so whimsical and safe and doesn't die and all that. Best of luck. Right. Well, pardon me then. What? I'm super. Mwah. Thanks. Wow, the doctor's a real one for for leaving a little moi for me. Well then, I'll take my leave. She exploded. Wow, that was so interesting. Is this a sheep that can be touched? I guess not. I think this is where I started. This is the way to the grave. Okay, check this out. Close. I'm just wondering if maybe there's a sheep that I missed. Oh, there is. Hello, sheep. Touch. I touched it and it vanished. Are these the sheep I was told to touch? Okay, I just need one more. I'm so curious about the lighthouse, but I have a purpose. I have a purpose. I gotta do it. Are you serious? About what? What am I serious about? Probably. I'm probably serious, but I'm not really sure what you're asking for. Okay. Well, one of the sheep was here. And one of the sheep was here. So probably the last sheep is like the bottom level. Maybe. One more. One more sheep to go. Light. Oh. Digging again? What's wrong with digging again? Oh, I want to light these lanterns. But I have a purpose. Oh my goodness! Sheep. Got him. I think that's all. Pray? Ooh. Man, that seems like a fun thing to do. Wait, can I just like see what's in here? Oh, it's locked. Okay. The game said keep doing your little task. Okay. I have the sheep. I did it. I did it. I worked hard and I did it. my goodness. What the? I'm the helper type model. Again? Sorry, I thought you might be running out of energy. Did the doctor leave her here in case my energy was low? Well then, what do you want? Yes, well, I thought you might be having some trouble. No, I'm sure you must be. So, if there's some way I can help... she's saying she'll help me, but... I don't need help, don't worry. Quick, go gamble! Oh my god. I'm going gambling so fast. Hi, Shan! Thank you for the hydrate and stretch. Gamble all? Oh my god, wait. Shan is mogging. Nah, I don't think I need help. That's... But in that case, you don't need me, do you? Well then. Oh. Bye, Shoddy. She exploded. Well... I mean, if she exploded twice, I think that means she can respawn. A traffic light? Oh, I didn't mean to thank you for your service. Think the traffic light. You just stay here switching between red and green forever? If it were me, I'd probably get bored. Thank you. Oh, move. Oh, I guess you can only move in the screen. That makes sense. Gamby all. Sigh. Oh, wait. I think I got another piece of scrap. Here you go. Here you go. Here's some scrap. Yay! Traded scrap for third reward. 10 coins. Judge? Why am I getting judge points for trading scrap? Okay. I didn't, like, confirm with the girl that she had her sheep, but... You know, sometimes when you're doing a nice thing and helping someone out, you don't really need to be thanked for it. So as long as she got them... Oh my god! Wait... A crane machine and slots. I low-key feel like talking to you will fill up my whole bar. Yo, Miss Favorite. Or is this a blackjack table? I want the crane machine. Pay 10 coins to play. Yeah! Oh, there's a teddy bear, a bunny, a brown teddy bear, and a iguana looking thing. I don't know what this is. Which one do you guys like? I'm kind of drawn to this little guy because it's so small. But the bunny's ears are very cute. And the teddy bear is probably the easiest one. And it does have what appears to be a top hat. Aw, Shan, you... No, you're gambling. I flew too close to the sun. This is so sad. You lined up. Move down is E. Please, 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 please. Please, 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 please. Come on, little lizard, stay in there. Wait, that was the most forgiving claw machine I've ever played. Oh. Oh! Let's go! Failed personality test. Guys. No, but I think the act of changing your personality for other people does kind of contribute to your personality, right? Like, I think that's kind of accurate to me. Gamble all? Oh my god. Wait, why is the gambling going so poorly for so many people? Hi, Fiyuki. Womp womp. Hell yeah. Wait, Shrimp, did you win? Oh, you did win. Okay. So, I think for the most part, people are winning. Oh, baby, I'm back in. Wait, can I get all of the plushies? I was thinking it was like a one-time only deal. But if I can just get the whole machine, that's kind of awesome. I wish all claw machines were like this. Oh, 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 oh. Oh my goodness. Never mind. Less forgiving than I thought. Oh, 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 oh. I did not hold on to it. Oops. It's fine. I'm so rich and it's so fine and regular. Oh, Allah, you lost. But surely if you gambled all, you would not have lost. Trust. Oh, not Yuki though. What the? My bunny rabbit. Wait. Man, I hope it like... Oops. That's... Oh my goodness. Man, I keep letting go. I think you just... have to hold this button, but I keep just like tapping it. The house is rigging. Yeah, low-key don't tell anyone. The house is rigged as hell. I was 1%. 160,000. Yeah. Yeah. No, my goodness. Why was the lizard so nice? Only 1% left. Yeah, that's why I'm... Well, part of it is like I genuinely want all these plushies, but the other part is I think as soon as I leave this game, the quiz is gonna end. So I might as well try to get everything that I can. And I have so much money, you know? Okay, Bunny is upside down. We're grabbed onto her ears. Because lizards are cool. Yeah, I think the lizard was the cutest plushie. Okay, stuffed rabbit obtained. Thank you, Yuki. That's so real. That's the song that plays when you lose all your gambling. Also, I don't... Hey, thanks. I've never been to a casino that had a claw machine. But I think they should definitely invest in that. Stuffed bear obtained. Is there even anything else to grab? What are these? Okay, that's nothing. So, okay, we're just giving them $10 for fun. Do you think it'll affect my personality if I keep pressing play until all of my money is gone, even though there's nothing left in the machine? I don't think that's the kind of personality I want. Not called a casino, it's called a... I thought they were bankrupt. I thought they were all gone. Oh. Wait, it didn't instantly fill my bar. Well, shoot, with my last percentage, should I do slots? Or should I talk to this person who might be a blackjack table, but, like, I'm not really sure? Man, I wish I could do both. There's still some around? Oh. There used to be one kind of by my house, but it like, shut down, and I thought... I thought the whole franchise, like, went bankrupt. I guess I'll talk to this person. I do like being called Miss Favorite. I don't know what that means. Mirai? Yo, Miss Favorite. Picking a fight, I'll kill you. This reminds me of someone. I'm not gonna name any names, but this does remind me of someone. Wait, does that mean, like, I'm her favorite? Or is she, like, calling me the doctor's favorite? Like, she resents me? I don't know. They might be liquidating in phases? Probably. Chuck E. Cheese? Oh. head empty emoji. Didn't someone like die at a Chuck E. Cheese? And then they went bankrupt. Is that real? No, this is your test. Sigh. I know, but I like to get opinions. I don't know if I would play dumb if I'd be like, you mean you like me? I want to do this option because it sounds kind of flirty. But if the answer is no and she's like genuinely being mean to me, then I don't want to be put in a situation where I look like an idiot. My older sister worked at Chuck E. Cheese for 2 weeks and quit because we wouldn't stop me with the FNAF jokes. She quit because of that? You guys must have been relentless, huh? I'm gonna play dumb. Butler? What the hell is Butler? Now, don't give me that dumb look. You were the doc's favorite, weren't ya? Okay, so yeah. I'm glad I didn't pick the second option. Gotta go back. Have a great stream and day. Thank you, Shan! You too, you too! I hope you have the best Wednesday ever. Did you go visit her grave? Yeah. Huh. Whoops. Sorry for the gloomy topic. Almost forgot I'm a dealer. If you want to play, just say the word. Oh, and you gotta bring 300 coins. It's no fun if you can't bet, see? I'm not gonna ask how I should gather coins. I have enough. Let's just play. Don't give me that. Let's just play. Boncho? What is Boncho? I don't think that was the only reason, but it's funny if I say it is. Yeah, that is pretty funny. Yeah, you right, you right. Now that's real interesting. But nope, I can't do that. Betting your earnings is the whole point. Where's the... Okay, here's $200 option. You'll collect it quick, don't worry. Just a question of how. I have it! What is this, like, weird little mind game? I have 300. And then some. Alright. Oh, let me play with you. Now, shall we play? You'll have to wait. That's crazy. Let's play. Right, let's play. Hehe, that's the ticket. Okay. Okay, Alright, Missy. You brought 300 coins. Okay, I kind of love being called Missy. This girl's awesome. Now put them all on the line. Naturally, if you win, you gain coins. And of course, if you lose coins. That's what makes it a competition, right? Now, the game we're playing is high-low. Just predict if the next number will be higher or lower. The number can be from 1 to 99. We'll play 7 rounds total. I don't think I've ever played high-low like that. Each round is worth plus 10 coins. Or sorry, each round 1 is worth plus 10 coins. Lose once it's over, 0 coins. Lose once and it's over. Wait, so you have to get 7 correct in a row? Of course, you can also quit in the middle. Now let's get started. That seems so difficult to do 7 in a row. Okay, 70? Surely it's lower. Low? Let's see. What? Wait, she's talking so fast. She's calling me Missy, though. Wait, it only went down 1? Okay. What if we quit and we take our $10 winnings? Kind of awesome, huh? I wish I could gamble all of my money. So I have nothing to do with it after this. Is it higher than the current number or lower? I mean, it's more likely to go lower, right? But like, what if it's secretly higher? Bam, bam. Yo! Right you are, Missy. Here's the payout. Okay, lower than 73. Yippee! Okay, okay. 4 left. Hmm. Hmm. 69. Real and true. Um. Um. Hmm. Well, so far, I think every number's been higher than 50, so maybe it's more likely that it'll be lower. I'm scared, though. Yo! Okay, surely it's higher than 5. Oh my god. By such a small margin, too. Surely it's higher than 7. But what if it's like 2? It won't be 2. Surely it won't be 2. 79. Okay, okay. Only one left. I gotta... I gotta really think. Gotta really feel her aura. Lower. Aw, man. That was too bad. Well, take your mind off it. Sorry. Rigged. That's what I'm saying. It's so close, too. Oh, well. Alright, then. Let's tally up the coins. You've lost energy, so careful what you do. Wait, now I don't even have enough to play again. And it didn't... I wonder why that didn't... put it all the way over. Slots? Slots, perhaps? Oh my gosh. Slots kind of like freak me out. I don't know what any of this means. So sevens are bonus. Are these sheeps? Sheeps? This is not a sheep. I don't know what this is. I'll call it a sheep though. Sheeps are chance. Acorns are chance. Bells are 8. And squirrels are replay. I don't know what that means. What is 8? LCR. Coin payout. Can I just... Do I have to stop it? Why is there not music? Gee. Thanks for getting not first. Oh. Oh, I've never been to a slot machine where, like, you pause them individually. Wait, how do you... Okay. That's 8 coins? It's so, like, unsatisfying. I feel like the fun part of Blaze... I feel like the fun part of the slot machines is all the fun little noises it makes. This one is quiet and sad. What is this? Oh. I think this is the acorn. Chance. Replay, okay. And this kind of sucks. Like, it sucks, but I'm still gonna spend all my money on this. Chance? What is the chance? What is this a chance for? To get 8? Oh no, this is 8. Chance are these, I see. When the gamba isn't gambling, yeah, I need to like bing 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 bing. And like whenever I win, I need it to like explode and be like bah, 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 bah. Okay, 8. This is just kind of sad. Kind of sad news. Let's see R. Left, center, right. 1, 2, 3. Does it count if it's like on the other rows as well? Oh no. I'm not super well versed. and slot machines. Oh my god, 8 more. Hold on, I gotta put I gotta put Spotify on. This is something about a quiet casino is so upsetting. I wanna know what Blaze does. Oh my goodness, 8 coins! Yippee! I guess I can use the keys instead of clicking. Bet? Oh, okay. Didn't know if you could raise it. Wow, wow, wow. Wait, pressing the arrow keys is kind of satisfying. Click, click, click. Yippee! Wait, I'm never gonna run out of money doing this. Maybe I'll go down to 100 and then stop. Or if I win really good, I'll go up to 200, then I'll stop. Either one. Oh, Blaze Chance. Last 5 gear. What is Blaze Chance? Question mark. Oh my god. 75 top 7? What? Is that what the chance is? Oh my god. Bonus. Okay, wait, there's the fun little noises. What is that do? Okay. Well, now I can pause Spotify. This is this is what it's all been about, huh? Yippee! 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 Oh my goodness. This feels rigged as hell. What is happening right now? It's rigged. That's nice. This is like the episode of the Twilight Zone where that like gambler addict like thought he went to heaven because he just kept winning every single gamble, but then he realized he's in hell because it like didn't have the same like spark anymore because he just like no matter what he did he won. Oh. Oh my goodness. I like want to leave, but the numbers make me feel like I should. Yippee! Man, I'm so good at this. There's a story of a guy who won the lottery, and then when interviewed on TV, he played the lottery again and won again! Someone give me that kind of luck, please and thank you. Wait, that's crazy. That person used like all their luck for the rest of their lives and like their whole bloodline's lives. That's so wild. I'm manifesting that kind of luck for you. Okay. Is the blaze bonus stuff got? Oh, it's not. Okay. Yo, we're getting up. Wait, I could get up to 300. And then we could go play high or low again. Wowie. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm fumbling the bag a little bit. Okay. That's enough, I think. 275 is good. If I win the lottery, my silly self would spend it all on art. All of it? It's kind Kind of awesome. Oh, test reached 100%. Please choose your final action. Oh, that's nice of the game to say that. I didn't know it would like tell me. Oh. What do I do with my final action? I feel like it should be something really important if it's like my final action. You know, maybe for my final action, I will just sit on a bench. For final action, sat on a bench, pacifist. I think sitting on a bench in the rain is kind of a poetic way to end. Valid. Not a Christmas rat. Maybe a Christmas rat. Okay, what about art of a Christmas rat? Test complete. Ending game. Oh my goodness, scary. Oh my goodness, okay. Oh my god. Control mode terminated. Installing personality into her. Oh my gosh. I studied so hard for my personality test. I hope I got a good grade. Oog. What was I? That's right, the doctor. Did control mode terminate? Why in the world? Ah, damn it. Not much energy left. Oog mentioned. I know, Your Turn to Die is the only game I've ever seen, like, Oog in. But now I feel like I see it. I feel like I see it all over the place. There's still things I have to do. I must keep my promise to the doctor. I want to fulfill my promise to the doctor. I'll do what I can for the doctor and myself. Must seems like, whoa, like it's not that serious. I'm not... I'm not living for the doctor. I like that this one mentions herself. You know, because I think she should have her own wants and needs into consideration. But I like I want better than I do what I can. I guess I want to fulfill my promise. Oh, that was the most popular option. I want to fulfill my promise to the doctor. There's no time. I have to take out the sheep. Wait for me, doctor. Oh, well, I found the sheep. Is that not... Oh! Oh, what? Wait, I thought I was collecting the sheep for her. Why did I take them out? What are you planning to do to the sheep? I'm going to destroy them. That is a difficult thing for me to allow. It's to keep my promise to the doctor. Please, let me do it. Wait, I thought Scramblies... I thought the letter said we're supposed to, like, look after the sheep. Not kill them. Whatever your reasons, I have my own mission. The mission of protecting these sheep. As such, if you would destroy them, I will destroy you. Oh my god. Oh my god, I don't want to fight her. Surely the sheep can just chill. Hi, cutie Silas, everyone. Oh my goodness, I'm doing pretty good. Well, thank you for the hydrate. It's a nice Wednesday, a nice rainy Wednesday afternoon. I hope you're doing well too. It seems I have to. Though not in control mode, you can still help just a little. Commands will appear based on the personality installed in her. Use them well to lead her to victory. Attack, try again. Auto plan. Strength mod, observe, rouse self. Okay, well, I don't really want to attack her. This battle was just a simulation. Practice if over. I don't really know what try again means. Slightly boost attack or defense. Gain information irrelevant to battle. Rouse self. Yeah, give me give me the useless information. Can I get any information from the database? Fully independent mission type AI, Inori. Model number I-002. Her mission is to protect the sheep and carry out the doctor's plan. Wait, the doctor's plan? I thought I was carrying out the doctor's plan. And if both of us are doing that and we're fighting each other, that means maybe the doctor was wrong. Let's rouse self. The thing that I must do is stop the doctor from being born 100 years from now. What? We're stopping the doctor from being born? But they already died. I can't let myself loose here? What? What? I don't want Scrumbly to die, but I don't really want to attack Inori either. I'm doing great. Friends in school taught me how to play A to me new card game, and I'm trying to analyze a short horror film. Yo! Wait, that sounds kind of awesome. I love learning new card games. And I think analysis is very fun as well. Can I keep observing, or will it just repeat the same information? Okay, it's just the same. Defense. Maybe if we just increase defense enough, then we will be invincible. If I do this here... Alright, my defense should have increased. Oh my goodness. Defense boost. 6. Can we keep doing that? 4. Okay, if it's by 2 every time, surely we can get it to just be 0. 2. 0. Okay. We're chilling. We're chilling, and I don't think she can hurt anymore. Oh, she can't hurt us anymore. I don't want to hurt her, though. Can't use this command. It's already automatically in effect. Okay. Oh, I guess try again means, like, restart the whole battle. No, I'm, like, content with the way I've been doing things. What do I do? Time machine? Yeah. I guess so. It's so weird that there's, like, a grave for the doctor, but she's supposed to be born in 100 years, though. I'm really not sure what that means. We just, like, keep doing this forever and ever and ever. Okay, well, we have to progress somehow. I just really don't want to attack. I guess we can increase attack by a bunch. And then one-shot her so that she's not in pain, I guess. Maybe that would be the most kind thing to do if we have to kill her anyway. I figured out in English it's called Schnapsen because the short horror film is called Stalled on YouTube. I've never heard of Schnapsen. I guess I don't know that many card games, but I like all the ones that I do know. I also have not heard of Stalled. I don't watch a lot of horror stuff. There's one streamer that I've watched in the past, and he will sometimes end his streams by watching like a few horror shorts. And some of them are fun. I'm not very good with blood. I feel like a lot of horror is like blood. But when it's not blood, it's kind of awesome. I hope this is not doing anything for my personality test. It said the test was complete. It'd be really embarrassing if it was like, yeah, you took 80 turns in this battle. You kind of suck at this. Okay. Do you think I could one-tap her now? Oh, 36. Darn it. I was kind of way off. Foolish. You can't beat me. Ow. Can I win by fighting fair? I can definitely beat you, girl. I did it. I beat her. It can't be. Why? Why? Why would I? Oh my goodness. Now at last, the doctor's promise. I'm at the limits of my energy. Please hold on. I'm coming. I'll be there soon. Doctor. Aww. It is slightly bloody, but it's not too bad, IMO, and the plot is very much interesting to me, though slightly confusing on the first watch. It's called Stalled? Maybe I'll check it out. That is pretty cool. To the doctor. Even now, I don't know if my choices are really the right ones. Countless times I've calculated and recalculated what I should really do. But now, I can have confidence this outcome is the most correct one. Doctor, please don't resent me for this outcome. Game clear! My goodness. I feel really bad for Nori, though. Boss personality is gonna show up as Bungus type! In parentheses, good. Bro! That is so messed up of you. I'm not Bungus. That would be your personality. Sigh. It's like the 60th... Or sorry, the 30th time I'm watching it. I'm pretty sure I'm starting to get it. Oh dear. Oh dear. It must be really confusing then. Hey, well done clearing the game. I was able to collect some new data. Clearing the Bingus? Wait, that would go crazy. Oh my god. I miss Bingus. I quite liked the Bingus memes. Through this experiment... Oh, though this experiment still ended in failure, I want to let her keep living. Do machines lack that mindset? The moment their warden's gone, a defect. No, sorry. My selfish circumstances are no concern of yours. You're indulging my experiments in this ending world. Rather than complain, I should thank your cooperation. Thank you. I think a bit better of humans now. I wonder if the doctor was like the last human or something. So all the people we met seemed like they were robots. Now then, let's try exporting your personality from the log, shall we? The log shows what % of subjects did the same act. You should look through it if you're interested. Well then, I'll excuse myself. Thank you, and have a good ending. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness! So many logs. Wait, stop. Oh, can I not scroll? Oh my god. Surely after it does all of it, it'll let me scroll. Oh, so many choices. Um... Wow. Did a lot of things. At cafe for third customer put in cold. Oh my goodness. Is this what coding is like? I mean, I hope it lets me go back after it's all after it's all done. I'm kind of dissociating at the moment. Chose to have fortune told. Didn't set up ladder. Asked if Kibo is alright. Oh, it doesn't let me go back. Just dissociating for fun, I guess. Complete! Ah! Stop it, don't show me that confirm prompt. What? Okay, so I got Philosopher. A perfectionist who always stops at a decision to consider it until satisfied. Judgment, methods, morals, passion, daring. Personality details? Philosophers look back on whether their choices were correct. In addition, you may tend to spend a lot of time on decisions. This level of prudence takes extremely calm powers of judgment, which you may well possess. When making a choice you made before, you might doubt if what you chose was really right. This can also apply to those with a perfectionist side, seeking more accurate answers. Such carefulness, oft forgotten, surely leads your choices to be wiser. Hold on, let's think about this. It's not too late. I think that's kind of nice. Like, I'm thoughtful. I guess that's sort of accurate. But I think, I don't know. I think it's like half and half. Maybe not half and half. But sometimes I'll think really hard. But sometimes I know what I want immediately. And I don't have to think about it. Planner? Meticulous sort who does anything they can to prepare and increase the odds of success. Always recover to max, HP to max, and save often. I think that's a good trait, but that does not really feel like me. Sage. One who always prepares for possible crises. Better to reliably avoid loss than the chance gain. This makes me sound like such a meticulous person who's so wise and thoughtful. Is that real? Hidden personality. This personality will be unlocked after a second clear. Oh. This personality will be unlocked after third clear. It's kind of nice that there's replayability. Huh. It's your most fundamental personality serving like a trait trunk. Save often. Yeah. No, I guess it's kind of circumstantial. Sometimes I'm really cautious, but sometimes I just be doing things. I don't know if I feel like I resonate super strongly with this assessment. But it is interesting to read. Wowee! So, you cleared it. Well done. Your personality data has been written to a disk. If you wish to check it, you can do so via the disk or the menu. You can compare your personality to others. But wouldn't it be best to know your personality in more detail? If you wish to deepen your understanding, I highly recommend to play again. That is very interesting. Philosopher. Oh, I guess you can... I guess you can try to get all the personalities and they all have little art. I will say, even though I don't know... I don't know how... No, maybe this is accurate. Maybe I wish I was more gutsy, but this is who I really am. I don't know. I don't know what that says about me. But regardless, I think the art I got was very cute. I like that she's kind of just resting. She's sitting. She's sitting all balled up. That's me for real. Cute, 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 cute. Cute, cute, cute. Kind of want to try this. Oh my goodness. I think everybody should try this and then tell me tell me what outcomes you get. I know Darren's played this one before. I'm not sure what outcome they got though. But they're the one who recommended this one to me. Researcher, artisan, traveler. Yeah, I think I would rather have like adventure or traveler. Probably not one of these. I like the idea of pacifist, but I don't think that's me. Ronto, runner, challenger, planner, samurai, philosopher, martial artist, clown, sage. Ah! Sage, hero, gambler, merchant. Yeah, I would have put myself in one of the green ones. But this is pretty cool. It's pretty awesome. My only complaint about this game is at the end when it's when it told all the data, there was no way to go back. I wanted to look at some of the more like rare choices I made that other people didn't. Close. Oh, I meant like close the game. I guess I'll just press the X in the corner. Yippee yippee! That was pretty good. Tell Darren to put the result in Discord. Oh, maybe I should have screenshotted my result so that I could put it in the Discord as well. Surely I'll just take a screenshot of the stream and remember to do that later. Let's see. I've only been live for 3 hours. I do have packing to do, but I don't think I necessarily want to end here. Let me take an ad break, and we'll think. Ugh, my legs. There you go. We'll think really hard about what to do. It's because you dug into the attack and defense thing. That's why I got Philosopher, because I dug for for 40 minutes. Be like, ah, yes, a planner. She's really planning ahead by hitting this rock for 8 years. Okay. Here's some baby sensory. Here's my baby sensory for my subscribers. If you're not subscribed, I'll see you in 3 minutes. And I'm gonna go put my banana peel in the sink. And I'll think really hard about what to do. Sorry, this song is so ugly. I'm putting on Spotify. Okay. Sorry, I'm going for real now. Okay, I'm back. I low-key lied. I did. Can I be honest? I put my banana peel in the trash, and and I scrolled on Instagram, and I did not think about what to do. Um, yup. This song is awesome though. Um, um, would you rather? Would you? Oh my goodness, I'm pugging. Hold on, let me see if I can fix. Okay, would you rather? Model. It's trying to look at that. Would you rather do daily games or BuzzFeed quizzes or a secret third option? I don't know what the secret third option is, but I'm sure there is one. Hold on, let me make a poll. Um, 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 um. I guess the secret third option could be I answer and take a nap as well. Okay. Okay, please vote in the poll. Oh, man, I love this song. Man, it feels like the weekend for me because, well, I'm my move-in date is tomorrow, and so I'm not streaming tomorrow. And then also on Friday, I have more moving stuff to do. So tomorrow and Friday is like moving central. And I don't know. Having 2 days off from streaming in a row feels so weekend coded. Okay, the only person that voted for secret third option, and I really does that mean end stream, or does that mean find something else to do? Please explain yourself. Um, hold on, I'm gonna calibrate my model. LP, go off screen and calibrate her. Preaching to the choir. Bada 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 bada. Okay, low key, I made it worse maybe. Bada 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 bada. Wait, oh, maybe hold on. Maybe I turn my light on. Maybe it's because it's dark because my LED strips are unplugged. And maybe my camera just can't see my face. Hold on. Okay, is that better? Hold on. I'll recalibrate it. Okay. Okay, I think it's low key just broken. Oh my god, look at my You like my banana from earlier? I miss it. I miss it. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Okay. Low key. Low key, my model is broken. My model is broken. I didn't have very much else planned. And I do be having some packing to do. So maybe we just do like a nice sneaky little raid out. And if anyone's like, Foss, you didn't even stream for 4 hours, then we blow up their house. I think that would be poggers perhaps. But everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Like I said, I will not be live Thursday or Friday because I'm moving. Wish me luck. My model. But I will be live again on Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern time to play a game called RV There Yet with Mick and Marcy and Kaya, and it'll be really fun. I don't really know what the game is about, but but it will be very fun. Trust. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Um, let's raid. Let's raid. Uh, let's raid. Let's raid D. She's doing Warhammer models, and I quite like watching her content. I think watching people paint like little minifigures is so peak. So show her lots of love. Okay. Here's a raid message, and here's a sub raid message. You can use whichever one you want, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye.